Are you looking for 10 best things to do in Aspen? If there is one factor Aspen's regarded for, it is skiing. This tiny mountain metropolis is surrounded with the aid of using 4 enormous ski areas: Aspen Mountain, Aspen Highlands, Buttermilk, and the ever-famous Snowmass Ski Resort. What's extra? It is also a famous leaping-off factor for a number of the first-rate Colorado snowmobile tours. The luster is not misplaced while the snow melts. However, the Rockies provide a few fantastic trekking spots, just like the Maroon Bell peaks, with jaw-losing vistas. If you are seeking out an extra enjoyable getaway, deal with yourself to a rubdown at a place spa or strive a healing soak with inside the Glenwood Springs herbal warm springs. Here is the list of 10 best things to do in Aspen. 1. Maroon Bells, rising extra than 14,000 toes. Those dual peaks are a favorite spot for hikers and wildlife watchers, boasting stunning vistas and breathtaking surroundings. In fact, Maroon Bell's jagged peaks and multicolored slopes make it one of the maximum photographed websites in North America. The surrounding place capabilities several trails and campsites, granting you lots of viewing factors from which you may seize an appropriate shot. It's additionally a famous spot on a number of the first-rate Colorado snowmobile tours. Whether you pick to go in the direction of the summit or to lazily walk across the beaver-encumbered Maroon Lake, that is positive to be one of the highlights of your Aspen experience. Recent vacationers reward the uninterrupted splendor of this place, calling the Maroon Bells beautiful, awe-inspiring, and one of the most endearing locations on Earth. Some say it is an appropriate region for an afternoon of trekking and a picnic lunch. Past hikers encouraged attending to the mountains early because the place can get crowded. 2. Independence Pass. If there is one cause to lease a vehicle in Aspen, it is to take the 20-mile force-through Independence Pass. This scenic avenue is one of the maximum in North America, meandering alongside the Continental Divide at a whopping 12 half-toes above sea stage. Get equipped to sense like a daredevil as you navigate tight turns alongside towering cliffs and through thick forests. When you are equipped to stretch your legs, a paved trekking path ends in a sightseeing platform where in a long way attaining perspectives of the Continental Divide are positive to make your jaw drop. Those who cruise through Independence Pass say the surroundings is virtually breathtaking, including that there are spots alongside the manor to prevent for a picnic and snap images, although vacationers agree that a forced down Independence Pass is a need to. Additionally, they recommend which you continue with warning due to the daunting nature of the narrow, winding avenue. 3. Snowmass, Aspen's biggest and maximum famous ski place, is the remaining vacation spot for wintry weather sports activities enthusiasts, comprising 3,332 acres of skiable terrain. This big complicated capabilities 150 miles of trails, a couple of lifts, and a captivating village with lots of stores and eating places. Roughly half of the paths right here are designed for intermediate stage skiers. However, extra superior powder hounds will locate masses of hard stretches of snow to strive. Snowboarders need to additionally be aware that Snowmass has one of the first-rate skiing faculties withinside the United States. Previous traffic raved approximately the ski place and its terrain variety, noting that there are runs for all sorts of skiers and that the raised strains and trails have been now no longer extraordinarily crowded. But with regards to purchasing and eating options, a few vacationers have been dissatisfied with the aid of using Snowmass Village. 4. Aspen Mountain. It's this mountain, first opened to skiers in 1947, that positioned Aspen at the map, and with fantastic summit perspectives and slopes with the intention to make even the maximum superior skiers' coronary heart race. It is no marvel why Aspen Mountain stays a favorite spot for wintry weather sports activities lovers. Ajax, as it is fondly called. Capabilities about 675 skiable acres with 64 miles of runs whole with lots of bumps and steeps. You may additionally make your personal tracks alongside the Aspen Mountain Powder Tour's backcountry terrain. And while you are equipped to name it an afternoon, you may fulfill your urge for food at one of the close-by eating places or bars. When they examine it to Aspen's different ski areas, traffic, and locals say that Aspen's Veteran Mountain is the first rate. However, beginner skiers beware. Travelers warn this isn't a mountain for beginners. They say it is made for intermediate to professional skiers and snowboarders. Because of the hard nature of maximum of the terrain, skiers do say they respect the form of trails, from groomed blues to powdery black diamonds to professional simplest double black diamonds. 5. Aspen Highlands. Aspen Highlands has been the favored ski place amongst Aspen citizens for extra than 50 years. If you are seeking out a challenge, that is the ski place for you. Extra than half of the paths right here have been carved with superior and professional skiers in mind. With routes like Golden Horn, Highland Bowl, and Olympic Bowl providing stomach-losing descents, skiers love the nearby sense of this mountain and say it is an advantage that it is not often crowded. Travelers, be aware the bulk of terrain is actually geared in the direction of superior skiers who understand a way to cope with steep pitches and deep powder when it involves mealtime. Preceding traffic strongly endorse eating at Cloud9 Alpine Bistro, which gives breathtaking perspectives of the Maroon Bells. 6. Glenwood Springs. While you will haven't any hassle locating methods to fill it slow in Aspen proper, you will be remiss in case you visited the Roaring Fork Valley and failed to make a prevent in Glenwood Springs, sitting approximately 40 miles northwest of Aspen alongside Route 82. Close to the junction of I-70, Glenwood Springs gives simply as many spots to hike as its extra famous neighbor, now no longer to say fishing, and whitewater rafting possibilities. The metropolis is likewise domestic to a complex series of caverns which might be really well worth exploring, but it is now no longer caves and trails that earn Glenwood Springs a terrific recognition amongst vacationers in the understand. It is the metropolis's mythical warm springs, formerly regarded with the aid of using local Native American tribes because the Yampa Hot Springs. The Hot Springs pool has been utilized by Native American tribes for centuries, and the effervescent swimming pools have catered to such mythical shoppers as President Theodore Roosevelt, the unsinkable Molly Brown, and the infamous Al Capone. Swimmers nowadays point out that a go-to the swimming pools may be pricey. However, the admission rate permits you to live and soak for so long as you like. Travelers say a soak with inside the warm springs is pretty enjoyable and rejuvenating after some days of skiing. A few preceding traffic additionally encourage traveling throughout the night for a much less crowded experience. 7. Buttermilk. With 21 miles of open, stress-unfastened trails, Buttermilk is an appropriate spot to strive your first run or to educate your children to ski. According to traffic, all of the novice trails are groomed, and the runs are huge, so there is masses of room for skiers to maneuver. You also can join up for non-public ski and snowboard training in case you want a few guidance. Recent traffic defined the teachers as pleasant, wonderful, and helpful. Beginner pleasant slopes aside, this mountain additionally gives trails for intermediate and professional skiers and is thought for its 22 feet superpipe, an X-Games stimulated course. Buttermilk's terrain parks incorporate extra than 100 wonderful capabilities. 8. Silver Queen Gondola. The Silver Queen Gondola travels 5 miles from the coronary heart of Aspen to the 11 feet excessive summit of Aspen Mountain. Once you attain the pinnacle, there are masses of possibilities to hike, dine, or even soak up a few stay track. A sun deck and eatery greets traffic on the pinnacle of the mountain and makes for an extraordinary spot to relax, grasp a drink or a chunk, and take images of the encircling landscape. Despite the promise of an exceptional view, a few vacationers say that gondola tickets are as steep because the incline, even 11 though the expenses are excessive. Vacationers agree that a journey at the Silver Queen Gondola is a need for traffic to Aspen, bringing up the exceptional perspectives and the exciting adventure up the mountain. 9. Aspen Brewing Company. Aiming to convey the craft beer scene returned to Aspen, Aspen Brewing Company became based in 2008 and has been brewing and serving up beers ever since. The brewery gives a huge form of beer, starting from blonde and crimson ales to stouts and pilsners to seasonal brews. With seating interior and on an adjoining patio, Aspen Brewing Company's faucet room encourages traffic to seize a pint and #drink in the view. Their stay track maximum weekend nights throughout the summertime season and wintry weather, and everyday glad hour specials on pints, pitchers, and growlers from 5 to 7 p.m. Travelers don't have anything however reward for this brewery, bringing up the pleasant and wonderful group of workers members, the tasty brews, and the comfortable surroundings as high motives to return. Those interested by the brewery's records and complete operation need to take the excursion first, then head to the tasting room, consistent with traffic. 10. Wheeler Opera House. Constructed with inside the past due 1,800 seconds with the aid of using commercial enterprise rich person Jerome Wheeler, this opera residence has been a prime supply of leisure with inside the Roaring Fork Valley for extra than a century. Today, this overall performance venue stays an Aspen gem, proposing Victorian architecture, stunning decor, and a beautiful electric-powered chandelier. The theater nevertheless hosts everyday occasions starting from concert events to movie screenings to plays, and consistent with current vacationers, you should not flip down the risk to seize a display right here. Visitors love the small, intimate theater and say that it makes for a relaxed surroundings with extraordinary acoustics.